Hey everyone. Oh, am I live, Stacey?
Yes,
Okay. Sorry, guys. I was laughing because tomorrow Stacey's up. She's going to be doing the vision board. And I said, do I have to do the countdown clock? Because you guys might be waiting for about a year before I actually was able to schedule it in. So, anyways, welcome back. I was thinking about that. Okay, I'm going to date myself. Welcome back, Cotter. Did you guys know? And the song was Welcome Back. Your dreams are your ticket out, which is what we're talking about, right? We're talking about your dreams. And you've done it, right? You did all the heavy lifting. You created that life map, you defined your vision. And today is really all about execution. So we're moving from idea to action. So we're going to take everything we've done, we're going to put it in your brand new shiny planner. I hope you guys have downloaded it. If you haven't, you know the drill, where to go for it. For those of you who we popped up on your feed, we are at lifemapnavigator.com. You can go there, register, and you'll get the links to download. You'll get the links to go watch the replays, etc. So that's really cool. So today, again, we're going to go into that shiny planner and we're going to show you how it works. And I've given you lots of different options so you'll be able to figure out what works best for you. We're also going to discuss, I told you at the first day, about our ultimate life reset and our Mastermind City membership. And I'm going to talk a little bit about those later for those of you guys who aren't with us already, but have seen the massive value and you want to move forward with us. So before we go into anything, if you are new and you want to connect with us, please go to LinkedIn. That's your best bet to join us. And then we can have conversations there. Certainly add us in Instagram, TikTok. I'm not going to ever answer you, so don't go there. I'm not so good at Facebook either, but Stacey's good at everything, so you can join her wherever you like to play. Whatever your sandbox is, we will be there. So again, if you want the replays or the workbook, you can go to lifemapnavigator.com. There's a QR code. You can text us and we'll send you the link. So if you just text workbook to that number on the screen, you will get it that way as well, right? And today you have a really super duper special bonus when you go to those pages because you get your planner, right? You want your planner. Absolutely. So today is the day to check back on that and make sure you grab it. So again, if you haven't registered, there's a QR code. Feel free. Join us. You still have time to watch all the replays. It's only day 5 and they're going to be up till day 10. So if you've seen one of your friends, and they've pushed you to come and watch this today, it's because they've had really great value for it. And I want to make sure that you are there too. So it was a busy, busy day yesterday. I picked just the first 4 aha moments. So we had a lot more than that. And I didn't want to, pick favorites. So all I did was get the first ones that were fed to me. So these are some of the things that you guys said about yesterday. So I've been setting goals, but I've never actually mapped out how to achieve them before. So yeah, goal setting is really just the beginning, right? Now we got to move into a structured plan to make everything work. And that's what we're going to do today, right? So we're going to, again, we learned how to break down those goals, and now we're going to learn how to break them down on our planner to make sure we get those done. Number 2, I finally see how my personal, professional, and relationship goals fit together. This is a big one, guys, because many people set those goals in a silo, right? They think working on professional goals and personal goals are very, very separate, but they are not. We are creating our entire ecosystem so that everything works like a fine oiled machine, something like that. Does that sound good? I like that analogy. I think I'm a little tired because I'm making myself laugh today. But anyways, number 3, I've been overcomplicating my success. Small, consistent actions actually win. Absolutely. Instead of being overwhelmed with everything and your massive to-do lists and doing all these things at once, and you think, you put down a goal, your big goal, and then you think you have to do everything in your power to get there tomorrow. And that's not how we're going to do it. We're going to do it so that you actually can achieve them this year. For those of you who have come back, who've been with us for 10 years, you know, you learned the hard way probably. The first year, you probably didn't do anything. And then the second year, you said, I'm going to do it. And you did half it. And now you're here because you know it works. So. And number 4, I can now predict and prevent the roadblocks that used to stop me. That came out of those lovely exercises that you guys all enjoy, like the loser wall, the excuse shirt, your trigger words. It's true, because when you map it all out, you are able to see why you're not going forward, and you are able to grab yourself, hold yourself before you actually use that excuse to not do it. So you guys know there's been prizes all week. Today we're going to give out a homework prize. And don't forget, we have 5 more days of prizes, and there's a grand prize too. So Stacy, as I said, has been monitoring those chats. She's been behind the scenes, but you're going to see her live tomorrow. And today we are going to give the 12-month scholarship to MMC Plus. So that is our community where we house all of our programs, all our live training, weekly coaching, community, you name it. And Lisa has been insane these last 4 days. She's been doing her homework. She's tearing it up. She's been doing her homework, posting everywhere. We love the energy. We think that Lisa's going to do really huge things this year. So congratulations, Lisa. You know who you are. You are now happy to be in the 12-month membership for MMC Plus. So Stacy will reach out to you just to make sure, but I know you're watching because you've been prolific in giving us your homework. Don't stop, because there's also a grand prize up for grabs. So for those of you who don't think that you can win, you can. Just send us your stuff. Tell us what you're doing. Show us. We don't even care what you write. We care that you're writing, right? We care that you're building that muscle. That's the whole point of the homework. It's building that muscle and getting you excited in all of this, okay? So let's just get some day 4 questions out of the way. So again, I just randomly picked the first 4 that came into us. How do I know? And some of these are very similar to ones that we may have talked about. But remember, when you're thinking about it, it's really important to you at that moment. So I don't mind answering the questions again. So how do I know if I'm setting the right goals for my life map? So the right goals, again, are aligned with your values, what excites you, what you believe will create impact in your life. So if a goal feels like, what did we talk about? An obligation. If it feels like an obligation rather than an opportunity, then it's probably not the right one. So a great way to do it is this is how we usually tell our clients, like if you accomplish that goal, if you accomplish this in the next 12 months, would you feel fulfilled? Would you feel excited that you accomplished it? If you don't, then you need to refine that goal, because you should be overwhelmingly excited that you achieved a goal. And if you didn't, like you get there, you remember I told you yesterday about when I was in corporate and I killed myself for like 8 years to get to senior management. I did everything. I worked overtime. I missed appointments. I did everything I could possibly think of to get there. And when I got there, I said, I jumped through burning hoops for this. It wasn't what I thought. So be careful. Make sure you set that goal that you know you'll be excited to achieve. So what if my life map starts to feel overwhelming? Yeah, that happens because you haven't broken down your goals into small, manageable steps, right? So we talked a lot yesterday, and we're going to talk a lot today about ensuring that you focus, on the entire journey, but then you zoom in to hit those little tiny milestones. Because if it feels too big and too overwhelming, you're going to stop, right? So what I want you to think about is you can ask yourself, what is the next smallest action that I can take right now to move me forward? Doesn't have to be big. It's just baby steps, but those baby steps start accumulating towards that big goal. Number 3, how do I stay motivated and accountable to my life map? This one's one that everyone goes through. Motivation fades. It does, right? But you know what stays true? Systems and accountability, right? So that sustains your progress. So you're going to work, you're going to look at your weekly and daily planning pages that we're going to look at. We're going to track our wins, right? And then you want to share it with a community, with a partner. You want to make sure that you are out there consistently saying that you're going to keep going. So Lisa, we're holding you accountable because you have been all over the map and telling us you're doing great. You're going to do great things. So you need to keep that motivation going. And the best way to do it is to continually talk about it, post in the groups, post on your social media, tell people what you're doing. People are interested. They want to know what you're doing because it's motivating for them. You know, every day when I go to class, I post after my class on my Instagram story. Post a picture of me and I tell what class I went to, and I've been doing it for a couple of reasons. One, to keep me accountable, and the other is to motivate people to attend local businesses because I like to support local businesses. So I didn't post for a couple of days, and a few people reached out to me and said, "Are you okay? Like, you are the one who's keeping us motivated to go to class, and we see your picture's not up." So even though you don't think that you're affecting people, you really are. So discipline beats motivation every single time. Okay? Discipline. Discipline means doing your planning, doing your work, taking those small steps. That's what keeps you motivated. Don't worry about the big, shiny, glossy name motivation. It's discipline that really works. We all know this, and it works each and every time. So that takes care of the questions, which means we get to move on to the rest of day 5, right? So again, you know where all the replays are. In case you're coming late, grab your workbook and your planner. Invite your network, invite people you know, because today is all about navigating your life plan, right? So this is the last day of the formalized structure, and then all the cool bonus stuff is coming next week. So tomorrow, Stacy's going to look after vision boards. We're going to talk about goal hacking on Sunday, AI prompts, which I know everyone's going to show up to on Monday. We're going to do a live question and answer on Tuesday. And then anyone who wants to do our spotlight, so you want us to look at your stuff to feature you and your business, please feel free to reach out to us. You can do it at hello@themastermind.city, or you can go ahead and DM us. I would say DM Stacy because she's going to get it before I get it. I'll get it in about 10 days from now. So it would probably be better to go for her first. So today, where are we headed? Well, it's an exciting day. We're going to talk later about the ultimate life reset, but we're also going to do a lot more than that. Today is about your planner, right? Understanding what your planner can do for you. It's about structuring your goals, understanding how to really structure it to make sure that they are attainable. We're going to talk about overcoming roadblocks because that's a big one for a lot of people, right? And talking really about your daily and weekly planning in detail. So doesn't sound sexy, but it actually kind of is. So we're going to talk about staying on track. What's next? You're going to open the floor to Q&A because some of you might have questions about doing planners. It doesn't matter to me whether you use our planner or whether you use your own. It's about the concept of using the planner that really works, right? But first, let's get real because most people fail. Why? Because they lack that motivation, right? It's not that they lack that motivation, they lack the structure and the accountability that comes, right? So they might be fully motivated and I want to do this. I'm excited. I can't wait to go. But they have no systems or accountability in place, right? And that's a reality check, right? It's like you can't really, you need to sync that up, right? It's not as simple as wanting something. You need the plan in order to get there. So this is the plan. This is what's going to keep you on track. Remember, what did I say? Systems, right? Accountability. It's the discipline of doing those two that'll make them stick. So I want you to really really live that message, because it's really important for us in order to go forward. Your planner is really your success GPS, for lack of a better way to say it. It's what keeps you moving forward. Again, even when your motivation dips, right? It keeps you on track even when life gets in the way. And how many of us can say that life got in the way of our plans last year? They get in our plan. It gets in the way of every year, right? You have an incentive to do something, and then something throws you off course, and then what happens? You just drop it. This is the year you need to commit and say to yourself, I don't care what happens. I'm going to go back as soon as I can. I'm going to refocus. I'm going to go back. I'm going to make sure that I don't get stuck on the wrong course, because I want this year, I want to finally succeed. Otherwise, you're going to be coming back to us next year because you didn't have the discipline to stay there. I want you to come back because you did everything and it was fantastic, and now you want to come back and do it again. That's why I want you to be here, not because you forgot to do it or you didn't do it, right? And a map is really only useful if you know how to follow it, right? So you need to make sure that you follow it line by line. Again, you can go ahead and change it. We've given you our planner. We've given you some options, right? We've given you the PDF, which is no problem. A lot of people like paper. Stacy likes paper, but she just likes to look at it. She doesn't really write in it. So, however, we've given you a Canva template. So, because it's a template, you can feel free to change it. It's your copy. So you can manipulate it, change the words, do whatever you want. You don't owe me a thing. I spent a lot of hours making these planners, but I did it in a way that they can be modified to suit your need, because my goal is to make you successful, right? So, you excited about it, right? Are you excited? There it is. It bursting with sunburst. There's my great graphics techniques that I did on my slides. We're going to go through everything from big goals all the way down to breaking it down. Now, for those of you who downloaded it last night and are looking at it and don't understand anything, shame on you. You went forward before I said you could open your book. But we're going to start. Please don't go to the last page. Let's go page by page, because it is a system and I want you to understand it, right? So that you can really, really benefit from it. So we start with the big picture goals. This is where you can list as many goals as you want for the year, right? I'm not telling you to pick 10 or 3 or anything right now. Just get all the ones that you want out there on paper. If you have 2 papers, go ahead. I don't recommend it because that's overwhelming, but I want you to go ahead and put your goals under each column: your personal or your me math, your relationship goals, and your professional or business goals. This planner can be filled right out, right? This one big, and you don't have to go into detail. I don't want detail. I just want you to be able to identify what you want to do, right? So it could be, for example, it could be you want to launch a program next year, right? And you're going to have a date attached to it. Excuse me, I'm going to put on my glasses now. Okay, so I had all these ones that were filled out, and then Canva killed it. So they took it all. For some reason, my pictures disappeared. But anyway, so I'm going to show you. Hopefully, most of them are there. Big picture goals. So I would put under professional goals. I might have, I'm going to launch a digital program. So I would just put digital program launch September 30th. That's all I would put under that one block at the top. And you can fill these out for as many goals as you want. Now, remember, I said you're going to rank in order. I want you to rank these in order in each column, of course, because it's what you want to work on first. But as well, I want you to make sure that you don't go into any detail here, because I want you to be at a glance. You want to be able to look at this big picture goal page and go, in like June, go, oh yeah, I remember which one I want to do. But I'm going to show you how you transfer them in and out. Okay. So if you're on this big picture page, you don't have to keep it in a planner. You can put it on your wall, right? You can tape it to your wall, and every time you achieve a goal, you can give it a gold star or a check or cross it off, whatever, put a sticker on it, whatever makes you happy. I like to cross things out. That's my thing. I like to cross things out, and I do like shiny objects, so I probably would put a gold star on it. So this is your big picture. Next is going to be your yearly planner. It's year at a glance. Not everyone uses these. I love year at a glance because I like to know what I am for a couple of reasons, right? Really, one is I want to know where I'm going in the year, and I like to know that I'm not stacking too many things in the same month for completion. So again, I love these calendars. Why? Because number one, it keeps me motivated. Year at a glance calendars I put on the wall. Stacy knows I order the big ones from Amazon so that I can see them, but this one works good too. So in this year at a glance, if you want to use it, you put your big goals and it's the completion date, not the start date. I just want you to see that big shiny button that says, I'm going to complete it in September. So you got that? Is everyone following along? Okay. So again, every sheet in the planner is optional because it depends on what you like to work with. So I'm going to give you what comes after a year at a glance. Well, it's the quarterly sheets. And these are two different ways to track on a quarterly basis. I'll tell you what I like. But again, we all look at things differently. So I'm a very linear thinker, but I also like detail. So it depends on what your real study habits are, what you understand. Are you visual? What makes sense to you? So I'm going to show you how to use these two, and you can tell me if you want to use them as well, right? So here are the two options. The first one is if you want to track each goal individually on a quarterly basis. And I'm going to tell you how this works. It's really, really cool, okay? So in this case, the goal is to launch your digital course by September 30th, 2025, right? That's what we did on the big picture. That's what we did on the year. Now we're moving it down to quarterly. And on this individual page, we can create a vision statement around that goal to really make it sink in. Yesterday we did a little bit of visual exercises with Chachi. So this is what it's about. So this is what you might say in your visual. I have successfully launched a high-value digital course that attracts and educates my ideal audience. The course is structured, engaging, and provides a transformative experience for students while generating consistent revenue for my business. Does that sound good? That's where we want you to think that you're going when you achieve the goal, right? So then I determined what I have to do in each quarter in order to make it happen. You can do this on your own, or you can also ask Chachi for some help. So if I was, let's try just running through it first. So in quarter one, I said, okay, in quarter one, I want to do the course development, right? In quarter one, that's what I want to focus on. I want to focus on outlining the curriculum, researching some competitors at a high level, and then defining the learning outcomes. In quarter two, I want to do the content creation. I want to record videos, create slides, design worksheets, and build the platform. In quarter three, I want to market and launch, because remember, I said I was launching September 30th, which is technically still in quarter three. So I want to make sure I develop the sales pages, create email sequences, run pre-launch promos, you name it, in quarter three. And in the final quarter, which is actually after I've launched, I want to be able to review everything, see if I've met my goal, and I want to be able to move forward. So maybe I'm going to start looking on ads, and maybe I want to consider what's next. There's so many different options, right? It's really, really cool because now what seemed like overwhelming the volume of work it took, now this is really quarter by quarter. It's broken down so it doesn't all come that you have to do this in 1 week. That's not how we want it to work. The second sheet is the same. It's a quarterly breakdown, but this is for people that just want to list their goals and the top line of each quarter, what they're going to do. They don't need to list everything out, right? Both are effective. You can use one, you can use both, whatever you want. this is what I'm going to suggest you do. I suggest you take a couple of your goals to start with and use all the sheets, and then you ask yourself, which ones do I want to work on every every quarter, every month, every week, and which ones I don't really need. So I'm just going to take them out of the planner. Or maybe you want to adjust them. But this is a really great way. Do you guys see the benefit of this? Of being able to say, I can break this down by the quarter and I don't have to be overwhelmed. We teach in our planning map sessions at Mastermind City, we teach about time blocking and putting it in your calendar. And this is really impactful for this, because what you're doing is you're now putting it in your calendar, but you're giving yourself breathing space to get it done. So that's our quarterly sheets. Everyone like those? The quarterly goal sheet is my favorite. I love the quarterly goal sheet because I'm going to show you why it's so cool. Okay. You are not going to believe this. You'll never have looked at this before. And it's something that, like I said, I've been working on for years and years and years throughout corporate, throughout launching businesses. And that's what has got me where I am today. So after quarterly, we go to monthly. Remember, all optional. So I want you to pay really close attention here, because this is super, super cool. So some of you might be thinking that you don't want to take all the time to do all this, and you don't have to. But let me ask you something, okay? If you could take the next 2 days, or maybe next week, you block out a day or two to do everything, plan out everything for the year, and you will know that you don't have to ever plan the rest of the year, and you will achieve everything because it's written out. Is it worth it? Is it worth taking a day or two to get everything organized the way you want? Okay. So remember that quarterly sheet? In that quarterly sheet, we had everything. We had basically 3 things that we do each and every quarter, right? And that means you have 3 months to get it all done. Well, here's the easy part. If you wrote it into your quarterly sheet, now you can break it down by month. So if you read the first 3, those are what I had written down that we would accomplish in quarter 1. Now I'm only taking one of each and putting it into each month. So now I have those 3 months, still the same as the quarterly. I have the 3 months to accomplish the goal, but now I know I only do one piece of it each and every month. That's achievable, right? So the first one, which is outline the curriculum, that's achievable, right? It's achievable to outline your top curriculum, like not the full thing, just what you want your course to be about. Number 2 is not the same research as I had in quarter 2. This research is really about seeing what else is out there, not like specific competitors, but what else is out there that people could do in order to achieve what you're teaching them as well, right? So all of these, everything that you had in the 4 quarters, you've now broken it down by month. It's manageable now. It makes sense. You can absolutely achieve it, and you can do more than one, right? You can do more than one thing at a time because you've broken down your goals over the entire year. So you'll see in the columns, you have goal 2 and goal 3, right? If you achieve a goal, once you achieve one, I tell, don't work on more than 3, because you need to first manage to see if this is workable. Once you get really good at systems and accountability, you can add as many as you want. But I want you to do at least 3, right? So write them all out. And then when you achieve one, guess what you get to do? You get to bring in another goal, right? So when you're planning your goals for the year, you don't want to have them all be completed in December, right? Because that's really a bit of an excuse, right? Some of these you might have a goal that's going to be completed next month. So that one's going to be done so quickly you don't even need the quarterly sheets, right? So that's why you have to kind of play with it and see what works for you. So what comes after a month? The weekly planner, right? So we're digging even a little deeper, right? Remember I said that in January I wanted to outline the curriculum, right? That was my goal for January. We had written it down, outline the curriculum. And it's a big one if you just say I'm going to outline the curriculum with nothing else under it. So in order to do that, I think we need to go a little bit deeper, right? So we're going to look a little deeper week by week, and we're going to split up what we want to do for outlining the course over the 4 weeks that we have. So, week 1, we're going to do research the competitors, as I said. Week 2, we're going to outline the course. Week 3, we're going to define our modules, right? And then maybe we map out the delivery. How do we want to deliver it? And those questions, all of a sudden, and what we want to do are incredibly easy, because you could probably do the first one or the second one within an hour. And then once you've done that for the week, you're done. You don't have to go to the next step, because you don't have to do that till week 2. We have broken it up so that you will achieve your completion date and you do not have to do it any faster. So if you do, let's say you're working on 3 goals and you're getting everything done in time, awesome. Then enjoy yourself and do something that you really want to do. Because if you keep rewarding yourself, then you're going to achieve all these goals. On the right-hand side, it's the same thing again, a little bit different options. It's a weekly planner where you write down your goals, more of a linear focus. You write down the focus of the week. You have space to write down your 3 priorities for the week, whatever works for you. I'm not going to tell you which one to use. I want you to feel like, I can't wait. How many of you are right there going, I can't wait to start this? Because it's kind of cool, right? And here's the thing. Again, you can, if you define your goals. So let's go back to the first one. We defined that I wanted to launch a digital program for September 30th, right? And I wanted to break it down first in quarters of what I needed to accomplish. So I can take exactly what I just said to you and I can feed it into Chachi and say, hey, I want to launch a digital program starting we want it launched for September 30th. Can you tell me what I need to accomplish in the 4 quarters in order to achieve that? It will spit it out. That's where I got this from. So it'll spit it out, and then you can drill down deeper. Great. I love quarter 1. Can you define it to go across all quarters? What do I have to accomplish? You can keep going and going. But here's the thing, guys. You need to think, right? You need to think, because you have to come up with the goal, number 1, and you have to refine when you don't like what the answers you're getting back. So it's not like Chachi's going to do everything for you, but it is going to be so much easier. What you can do now with this planner and the LifeMap, all the lessons you've learned, would have taken you generally a month when we first started. Is that about right, Stacey? It would have taken everyone like all of January to accomplish it. Now it's going to literally take you a day or 2 at the most. And for some of you, it's only going to be a couple of hours because you've already been doing all the homework all along. You can also use this weekly review that I've included, and it's handy if you're one of those people that, likes gold stars and likes to know what you're doing. Stacy's one of those ones. I think she buys the planners with the stickers just to put on stickers. So what you want to do is, if you like this stuff, feel free. You can go ahead every week. You can do a weekly review, and this might be a way to hold yourself accountable at the end of the week, right? And answer some of the questions like, what's your biggest win this week? What were your challenges and how did you handle them? What needs adjusting for next week before you go to focus on it, right? And, this is massive for a lot of people. There are 2 different kinds of people. One, that they just do things and they know in their brain and they're like on track. And the other, they need to see it in writing. They need to write it. They need to check it. They need to cross it. Most of my stuff used to be in my brain, but I'm getting older. So now I need those little check sheets to make sure that I know that I'm on track. So you guys like this one? You like the weekly review? Some of you are like, cool. This is not work. If you're saying that's too much work, you are not getting it, because this should take you literally not more than 5 to 10 minutes. That's it. I think you can devote 5 minutes at the end of the week. You could put this in your calendar to say every Friday, at 4 o'clock or whenever your shutting down time is, I'm going to do my weekly review. And that will make a significant impact. In particular, if you just try to do it for the first couple of weeks, couple of months, and you're going to build that muscle, and then you'll no longer have to write it down, right? A lot of these sheets, you're only going to have to use them for a couple of months until you get in that rhythm. But guaranteed you'll come back, because these are brand spanking new this year. Who's been here the last 10 years and have seen all the older sheets? They were all great. This is better. These are far more efficient and easier to understand and use. If you can't figure these out, don't use a planner. So, okay, I'm going to my very favorite. This is going to be the daily planners, and I've been using daily planners for a long time. And in particular, in the last 2 years, I had different reiterations of it, because I was really going on a path of getting myself better, self-care, interwoven with my business. So I developed these daily planners. These are my favorite. Okay, these are my absolute favorites. I only use the first sheet, but there's two more to help you go. So again, you can print. If I was going to print, I would probably use 1 and 2, and I would double side them, right? So you print it double sided, back to back, and then you can print one for every day of the year, stack them on your desk, and then you can go ahead and utilize them that way, right? And you can fill these out night before, which is how I started, to make sure I tracked everything. But what I love about this is that it focuses each and every day so that I don't forget anything that's important. Okay. I don't forget anything. So, number one is you mark the date, right? You just put the date on the top. And that's really important. And just so we know what day it is. And I love the part that we have, you can cross in your mood. Why do we want this? Because once you start tracking everything you're doing, you're going to see how one metric affects the other, right? So the days that you're in a really super mood, you're more than likely going to accomplish more, but you're not going to put it together until you see it on paper, right? So there's a space, for example, for exercise, right? And it might not be part of your daily routine. It doesn't matter. Let's say you just decide one day, I don't have time for anything, but I'm going to do 10 squats. Great, write it down, 10 squats, right? Because you're just going to try to look holistically at that whole page at the end of the day and see what you accomplished. A big one that I had to track for the last year, and that's why it's on there, is water. And I'm not crazy, because, I was born in the era that we never drank water. Our parents never gave us water, didn't have water in school except for that drinking fountain where they gave you, the kids would what was that? What did they used to chant? Remember, they would only count to 3 and then you went to the next person. I can't remember how it went. But, like there was no bottled water. We drank from a hose. We did everything that was not appropriate for today's day, but we never drank water. But my naturopath said, you need to start drinking water. So, I decided to start tracking it because I'm not very good at it. And that's what kept me on top of things, right? A big one for me, the next two underneath it, because these are all very personal, is the meal tracker, because I had a tendency of forgetting to eat lunch. And I had a tendency, and I still have a tendency, which I have to keep on track, is to just grab popcorn for dinner, which is not healthy. and I do have a proper system in place so that I make sure I track everything that I'm eating, not for calories, just to maintain that I'm getting my protein and my fiber, which I've not been good at in the past. So you can track this. And then the box on the bottom, that's a big one for me, a really big one, because if you take meds or supplements, you can actually track those. And here's what I learned. I started feeling much better when I started on a proper program. And that was one dictated by my naturopath. So I didn't just oh, this looks like a good ad, I'll take this supplement. So I went, and what happened was I started feeling better almost immediately. But here's the thing. I ran out of a couple of the pills, and then I forgot to order them, and I didn't take them. And all of a sudden I started not feeling well again. And I didn't make the connection, because you have a tendency, as you know, life gets in the way. So if you actually write down every single day what you've taken, you will start realizing when you miss it, because it will affect things in your life and you will no longer miss it. So when I first did this, I had a laminated board in my kitchen on one of those pretty recipe holders, because I like pretty, it motivates me. And so what I would do is I had it all listed and I would just check them off every morning to make sure I took them. This is the same way. So you could take this planner into Canva and you could, under supplements, pre-write all the ones that you're supposed to take. And then you can just check them off every day when you take them. That will make sure that you don't miss anything. No meds, nothing like that, right? Important. So if we go back up to the top again, we're going to see today's focus. And that's a great one, because maybe today is a client day. Maybe today is a paperwork day. Whatever it is, you can just put one or two words in there and you'll know this is today on this date. This is what I'm focusing on. And you don't have to worry about getting distracted about anything else. Underneath it, another really important one, and we talk about this all the time when we're doing planning maps, is to make sure you write down all your appointments, right? All your appointments for the day. So at a glance, you can go ahead and see them. You know they're there. You know what time they're. You won't miss them. And that's a really good one, because I like to start my calendar with things I cannot change, which means that if I have dentists, doctors, any of those, I put those in first. So I make sure that time is blocked. Okay. The next box is the reminder box of who you have to call. Do you have to call or email somebody because you told them you would, or it's a follow-up? This is a great way to be able to say, yeah, I even though might be in my Google Calendar, you might forget it, but if you keep this daily planner on your desk, then you're going to remember to call them all the time. This does not take a long time, guys. Remember, you can fill out a lot of it the night before, or you literally start your day by taking 5 minutes in the morning and do this first. Okay. We're going to scroll up to the top for a minute and we're going to put in weather. What's the weather like today? Why is that important? Again, it's for you to start identifying your patterns, right? So for some of us, when it's kind of crappy out, we go, oh, I don't really feel like working, maybe, and you're not as motivated or you're not as excited. When it's really sunny out, you might get, I can't wait to get there, or you might say it's too nice to work, right? So you want to start identifying your patterns, right? What is it to you? Okay. The reminder box is absolutely what is absolutely essential for you, what you don't want to miss. And it can be anything. It can be, I'm going to spend time with my kids. I'm going to meet somebody for coffee. It could be, as simple as I'm scheduled for a webinar. It could be your make sure you show up for coaching if you're part of our Plus membership or part of our ultimate life reset. So there's coaching every week. So you're going to want to make sure that you put that reminder in that day, right? Very important. Today's priorities. This is a big one. Remember, we like to work in threes. So I want to make sure that you write your priorities for the day for you. So which ones do you want to do first, right? Which ones do you want to do first? 3 of them. You have to achieve those. Your priorities means you must achieve those 3 today. So you want to make sure you get those in and write them down. And I will say the easiest way to accomplish them is to do the hardest one first, because we like to avoid that, right? So get it out of the way and then everything else seems easy. For those of you who are into finances, there's a great way to track your money. Top line, again, accountants, stop rolling your eyes at me. Top line, which means just track, are there sales coming in or is money going out for expenses? Just top line stuff of what you want to do to see how your day is going. Okay. And now we're moving to the last 2 boxes. Number 1 in the middle is what are you grateful for today? That's it. It's going to help you, because what did we talk about? We talked about first world blessings, right? We're not talking about what you did wrong. what did you do right today, right? What are you grateful for? You might be grateful that you got a new client. You might be grateful that you got to spend time with your family. Whatever it is, there's no right or wrong, but it has to be something that's positive, that makes you happy that you made it through the day, right? And then the final column is about tomorrow. So if there's something that you want to include so you don't forget when you're doing tomorrow, or if you want to, make a note of something that you missed, right? It might have been a priority or an appointment that got canceled. So there's an opportunity for you to say, make sure that I look at this tomorrow. Okay, you guys like that? Like, to give me some feedback. Tell me you if you love this or not. Again, you can change this in Canva. So this is my personal planning sheets, and you feel free to change what you want. On the back of the page, if you are a time person, you can use it as blocking your time for the day, right? So you can go ahead and block out by task. And then at the side, you can say what goal it supports. So if you were doing, for example, doing that curriculum and doing the research, you could say, blocking time from 9 to 10, and I'm going to do the research, and it supports the goal of my launching my digital course, right? So if you like it, cool. That's great. And the last one is total blue sky, right? You can write anything you want on it if you prefer to just have a blank page to write on every day. So that's most of the planner. I'm going to show you a little bit of tracking, and I've gifted this to you complete, right? You got it free, no charge. You don't have to worry about it. I've told you how to use it, right? And there is no excuse. There is no excuse. You can amend it, you can change it, you can use another one, but please don't say to yourself, well, I'd like to find another planner and then take a month to find it. Okay. You can use this right away, and you can certainly find things on Canva or in Staples or on Amazon to use as well. But this planner is specifically designed to break down your goals and to make them achievable. And that's why I love it so much. If you like, again, for those of you progress trackers, if you want, you can do this weekly, quarterly, monthly, however you want, change the words, and you can go ahead and track your progress on a specific goal. If this resonates with you, if you like this, cool, right? No problem. I like to call progress trackers, I don't know what I'm allowed to say here, bullshit radar, right? So what do I mean by that? It means that excuses won't work if you're using a progress tracker. So if you're a very big excuse person, then it's a great thing to do, because you will have no choice but to say how you're doing when you're tracking it. So what do you guys think? Do you like this planner a lot? I hope you like it, because, like I said, we invested a lot of time in getting this one done. It is very different than the ones we had in previous years. The technique is the same, breaking down and making them fit, but this is, I think, a little easier. It's easy to print. What I would do is I would print pages and get a 3-ring binder and keep it there so that you can flip back and forth. Maybe for those of you who like pretty shiny organized things, you can put tabs on it and do what you want, but it will keep you on track. If you're like me, you like to put things in front of you on a wall, so feel free to do that too, whatever keeps you going. And you've made it this far, right? And I can't be prouder, right? Because you've done so much in really building that foundation. You reflected on your past, you dreamed big, you created your life map, and now it's time to really navigate it, right? It's time to look at it and make sure you stay on track, even when you get a curveball. Because it's true, life gets chaotic. But today it's about action, right? We're focusing on taking the action, building the resilience, doing every step one at a time, right? It's really about understanding that you can do it. We're developing those tools because the planner is a tool for you. You're developing all that and you're going to make it your own. When you make it your own, even if you change a few words on the planner, then it feels like it's yours. It's a living, breathing document, and that will make all the difference. But let's talk about the rules of the road, right? The rules of navigation. First and foremost, we said this before, progress doesn't have to be perfect, right? It just has to move forward, right? You start small, and then what happens? You start small every week, every month, right? Every quarter, and it ends up big, right? So you're taking these micro actions. Basically, they're that fuel that you're putting in your car, right? And they seem small. They seem really small, but they're creating momentum as you go, and you just keep focusing on your next milestone instead of the big picture, right? You focus on each and every little step to get you there. If you're only focused on the big picture, you'll never get there, right? Because every journey you take, right? Every one you take, you've been in a car, I'm sure, and you have landmarks, right? Along the way. There's milestones that keep you on track, right? And that's what really gets you to your destination. But you have to be flexible, right? You have a rigid map, right? But you have to be flexible in order to bend when things get in your way. Because remember, sometimes there is something in your way. There could be a road closure, and you have to recalculate. How many of you guys have the maps on your phone? Google, when it says, you go on a map and then it says recalculating because you've had to switch courses. So that's what you'll have to do too. That's one of the rules of the road. You have to be able to switch course when you need to, because you have to overcome those roadblocks, right? And sometimes they're tricky. Usually, though, they're very common. So, what are the normal roadblocks? We talk about them all the time. A lack of time, right? Everyone says a lack of time. Not really a roadblock. You just need to learn how to time block and prioritize, right? Prioritize what you need to do, and then all of a sudden you have time. I used to always say, I don't have time to look after myself. I don't have time to exercise. I don't have time to go to classes. But I committed. That was one of my big, huge goals last year. And I committed to it, and I have not deviated because I made it into a habit, right? I made it that's what I do each and every day, no matter what. And miraculously, I managed to fit it into my schedule. The other common one is a fear of failure, right? It starts creeping up, right? It starts creeping up on you, and you really just need to understand that you need to reframe that in terms of the fact that you're just going to be learning. So if you fail, you learn, and when you learn, you get better and you move forward, and that's really key. And then the other one is, losing motivation. We talked about this in the questions, right? As long as you have an accountability partner or accountability group or something that keeps you accountable, and you have the systems in place, then you're okay. You won't lose motivation. But sometimes there's obstacles that are, a little more challenging, right? And they might be a little harder to overcome, but you're getting good at doing things. You're getting good at using Chachi, for example. If you're not comfortable with, you can't find the solution, there's nothing wrong with AI. In terms of helping you, embrace it. Think of it as your assistant, as a research assistant. It's helping you along the way. So when you get stuck on things that seem overwhelming, start brainstorming first. And if you can't come up with an answer, get help, whether it's AI, whether it's a coach, whether it's reaching out to the community that you're in. It's equally as important. Accountability, accountability. Accountability is a game changer. It's the glue that holds your plan together. Don't think at all that you can do this without holding yourself accountable. So whether, again, it's a friend, it's a coach, it's a community, I want you to make sure you share your wins, you share your challenges, and do it. And you can gamify it. I love to gamify. You can set rewards for hitting milestones, right? Like treating yourself to your favorite meal or activity, right? That's what you want to do. So I'm going to ask yourself right now, who is going to be your accountability buddy? If you know already, write it in the chat. For our masterminders, you better say the community, because we are holding you accountable. And that's part of the reason that you come to us each and every week. So if you don't have somebody, I want you to really think about who's going to hold you accountable. Because if you think you can hold yourself accountable, it's very, very challenging, right? It's kind of like if you go to a gym, it's so much easier to go with somebody else, because when you're not motivated, they'll say, come on, let's go. We have a class to attend, right? Key. And then the other one, accountability, what we said before, which is building habits and systems, right? We want to build habits and we want to build systems that keep you on track, because a great plan needs great habits really to support it. And that's where you anchor your goals into your daily life, right? So you start small, you attach those habits to existing ones, and it's called habit stacking. And that's what we're doing, right? We're habit stacking. So, for example, after your morning coffee, you want to review your life map for 5 minutes. If you decide that that's your habit each and every day, then that's what's going to become real. That's going to be a system for you. You're going to get up and review your life map for the 5 minutes, just top line, just your top goals. And that is going to help you achieve your progress. You're going to stay on track, right? All the planners is keeping you building your system, right? And don't forget about automation. You can offload repetitive tasks where possible so you can really focus on your goals, right? So, for example, if one of your things is you need to check your emails every day, maybe you have an assistant, or maybe you get somebody, just on Fiverr or on on Upload, any of those guys that you can Upwork, sorry, any of those guys that you can get to help you with stuff that you don't really want to do, so you can focus on getting the bigger picture tasks in hand. So I don't know what that is for you, but if there's something you don't like to do, those are the ones that I try to automate, right? We try to automate a lot of our email sequences. We try to automate most of what you see is in the background is automated, so that we don't spend too much time. And when you automate, it becomes a habit. So what's one habit, for example, that you can start today to stay aligned with your goals? Put it in the chat. What can you do today? If I want to give you an example, it's the one I told you. Review your life map for 5 minutes when you're having your coffee, right? Instead of grabbing a coffee and going to your desk and opening your emails, give yourself 5 minutes. 5 minutes, that's it, to review, to make sure you're on track and know what you're doing, right? That's really important. We know all this, right? We've been building this muscle all week long: accountability, habit, system, right? And you need all three in order to really truly stick to those big, beautiful visions that you guys came up with, right? And to hit those goals. And holding yourself accountable, again, is really challenging, right? We know this, we know it. And so we know that in our ecosystem, for example, we work everything together to make sure that it's working for us, right? We want to work everything together, and then hold us accountable to that, so that we are sure that down the road we're going to achieve our goals. So I'm going to ask you a question because, I'm going to answer your question actually, because we got this I think we get this every year from a lot of people. Why do we do this for free? Because this is a big course and it's worth thousands of dollars. We've sold it for thousands of dollars in previous years where we've not done it as we are doing today. And it's taken me over 17 years to create this program, I think, from start to scratch. That's when I started, because that's when it happened, right? That's when when I first realized I needed a system. But as you know, Stacy and I are on LinkedIn, we're on Instagram, and we give away value. We give away training every single day. A lot of you guys have followed us for years and years and years. And what we've done is we're building trust with you, right? We're showing you that there is a better way, that we know what we're doing, and we want to create something meaningful for you to take away and do in your life. And for many of you after today, you don't want this to end, right? You want to continue the journey because you've said, oh my God, this is the first time that I've ever got this far, right? I can't believe it. And after 10 days, with us, you're in it, you're excited, then your motivation, your momentum might shift, right? And that's unfortunately what happens to a lot of us. So that's why our mastermind community shows up every single week for live coaching because they want to stay motivated. They want to ask questions. They want to hold us. They want us to hold them accountable. And you can ask anyone in our community. We certainly call you on everything. So we don't like excuses. We like you to continue to try to build that big, beautiful dreams, right? And some of you can. You'll piecemeal these days all together, and you're going to try to make it work. And you're going to jump right in, and you're going to keep it going, and that's great. But some of you will need to join us. You'll need us because you need more than just the free stuff. You need more. You need to be with somebody that's going to support you. And you know that we've been building community, building credibility, everything along the way. You've seen that it's actually working for you, right? So we haven't offered you anything right now. We haven't offered you anything at all to join us, but you do know we have our Mastermind City Plus membership, which I'll talk about with you tomorrow. For some of you, you just need somewhere to land. You want an accountability, maybe a study lounge, somewhere where you can really work. And then for some of you, you might be wanting to go a little step further, right? So we created the Ultimate Reset. It's a life reset. We created it for you because we wanted to make sure we kept this momentum going. So we are going to get to your homework and everything else, but just bear with me a few minutes because a lot of you have asked. A lot of you have already tried to get in and buy, but we haven't even opened the doors yet. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about it. If it resonates with you, cool. And if you are okay right now doing what you're doing, it's going to work. Everything we've taught you is going to work. You just have to figure out a way to hold yourself accountable, right? So you've got a very far in your life right now in a very short time, right? In literally 4.5 days, you've made a massive difference just being in this community. So think about really what you could achieve if you were held accountable each and every week with us, right? Rather than trying to find another webinar or trying to find another book or trying to make it happen, you could just come one place to us that you know and you trust us now because we've proven that we can make a difference, and now you can join us a different way. So you have two options, really. You can build this ecosystem and the big, beautiful new life you want. You can do it alone, or you can do it with us together. And either way works. It's just a matter of you have to know yourself and what you need. So we know that lasting transformation doesn't just happen in 5 days, right? We know because we've been asked over and over again to continually, how can you continue along this journey to really make it happen? So we created this. It's the ultimate life reset. It's a 90-day immersive experience, and it's designed to ensure that your life map actually turns into reality. So we're going to invite you to join us if you want. This is not just a course. This is a weekly coaching feedback. It's motivation because you're going to have a supportive community. I mean, if you've already received all this value for free, just really think about what it would be if you actually could be with us each and every week, right? We're going to have accountability-led step-by-step training, weekly live coaching, one-on-one feedback in the group. And we're going to give you a place to study, really to focus in our study lounge, which we used to only do for our Global Impact Accelerator, but now we're going to add that momentum in here as well. And you might be feeling like a little overwhelmed because you've already learned so much, but we are going to dig even deeper, right? We're going to dig deeper because what you've learned is just scratching the surface. We're going to teach you things that you can implement that will guarantee that you succeed, right? And that's why we've set it up as we have, right? It is amazing. We've known so many people that have gone through similar programs that we've run, and it really does work. So let me talk a little bit about the curriculum. Okay, so this is what's included in our 90-day reset. Phase 1 is the M3 burnout formula. You've heard us talk about it. It's weeks 1 to 4, so it's a reset and recalibrate. If you're recovering from burnout, if you're not even knowing that you have it, if you just need to reclaim your energy, or you need to build resilience in this before you even are close to being able to hit everything else. This incorporates a lot of personal development pieces like breath work and movement, mindset recalibration. It's really about high performance and making sure that we're ready to move forward. Okay. And then it really helps us establish those boundaries. It'll help you eliminate stress triggers, create habits. It's a fabulous program. Phase 2 is really LifeMap Navigator, but it's the implementation lab. And that's really about structure and action. So it takes your life map from planning to execution, right? With all the guidance. We're going to master goal setting at a different level, time blocking and productivity and habit tracking. That's really going to ensure your success. And we're going to implement all the accountabilities that you will need in order to go forward. There is group coaching in this as well, peer support, you name it. And then in phase 3, and my little logo disappeared like everything else in Canva, it seems to be today, is the impact amplifier. And that's week 9 to 12. It's about visibility and influence and authority. It combines personal branding and clarifying your message, whether it's for business or yourself. We're going to touch on our speaking and podcasting and video creation, because you guys are going to be so motivated with your new goals that you're going to want to move forward, right? And we're going to show you how you can do that, whether it is to monetize your business or whether it is for self fulfillment. Whatever it takes. There's going to be accountability and support, live coaching, everything you can think of, personalized life map audits, daily implementation guides, you name it. This alone, easy, is over $10,000. You guys know this. It's a full program. Makes a massive difference. But I want to tell you, I want to remind you, there we go. We lost a picture again, that I was just like you, right? I wasn't at the top of the world, right? But at one point, I had this really glamorous life. I was international corporate. I was jet setting all over the globe. I was doing all this. But then, as you know my story, in 10 seconds, my entire life shifted, right? And after my husband's brainstem stroke, I had to quit my job. I had to raise 3 kids. The youngest was only 4. I had to work full time. So I had to find something that I could manage and still look after everyone. I had to look after a severely disabled spouse, 2 terminally ill seniors, and still try to make money to pay the bills. And I started feeling really bad. I was getting sick. I tried to figure out literally on a daily basis which visa I could pay and which one that I could handle getting the bill collectors calling me. And so I didn't really think about developing any type of system just to you know, to show you guys in the future, which I didn't even know. I just needed to develop a system so that I could survive, right? I developed a system that helped me survive through this and at the same time helped me thrive. And I started being totally burned out, as you can imagine, right? Totally overwhelmed. Essentially, I was kind of like a single mom, but with massive responsibilities. And I invested probably tens of thousands, probably $100,000 in programs and coaching, and nothing worked. Nothing worked. So I kind of had to figure it out. So what I've done is I've put together this, me and my team have put together this, and it's really essentially for you, it's a shortcut. It's a roadmap so that you don't have to figure it out on your own, right? I wanted 3 things. I wanted to feel better. I wanted to figure out what my life would look like, and I wanted to figure out how to make it happen. So that's what this reset is about, right? So again, we ramped it up even further because I also knew a few things. Number 1 is the 90-day program is worth it on its own. But then I also said, you know what? I need to make this really stick, really stick. So we put in more. We put in live coaching. We put in weekly Q&As. We put in audits. And then I said, that's great. That's 90 days. And that's going to help so many people significantly. But what happens after those 90 days? What happens to make this year work? So what we're doing is we put in a 12-month membership to our MMC Plus Academy, our Plus group. And what we have in that group, we have additional hours each and every week of coaching. So we have weekly Q&As and hot seats on anything you want. We're going to audit your work. We're going to do everything possible to make sure that it sticks. So not only are you getting that 90-day deep dive, you're getting 12 months of us. So if you're sick of us, don't. But if you love us, then you're going to want to join us. And so this additional 12 months, you're also going to get access because we're bringing back finally our live events. We haven't done them since COVID, but we're bringing them back because we want to make sure that you come to those as well. So you're going to get free access to our Faceless Fame event, which is really about creating faceless accounts and being able to monetize them. We're going to show you how to do an e-com store if that's what you're interested in. We're also going to give live, you're going to come to our Get Clarity event and our LifeMap Navigator retreat. You'll have access to those if you want them. So if you want to learn a little bit more about it, you can go ahead and scan this and you can enroll. We haven't really officially opened it, but you guys are with us live, so you can enroll. It's going to start the first week of March. So you will, I know, because a lot of people are like, I'm not ready. I need to get all this set. So we're going to give it till the first week of March. However, as soon as you enroll, you get immediate access to the Mastermind City Plus membership, which means that you will immediately tomorrow, if you decide to join today, get access to the entire group, to all the programs in there, to the live coaching, and that will keep you motivated along the way. So Stacy always gets nervous when I spring things like bonuses on her. But there is one bonus if you want to do a fast track. Well, there's actually two. One is if you pay in full. The other is if you want to go on payments for 3 months, whatever you want. But we're going to leave it open for the next, I think, until day 10, I believe, and that's it. And then everything's coming down. You can't access it. You can't join us again till next year because we are that focused on making sure this program is all about ensuring that it hits for next year. So if you pay in full, your bonus is you can get a general admission ticket to those live events, right? And you're going to get access to a mastermind round table dinner with us and a full training day with Stacy and us in June in Toronto. She doesn't know anything about it. These are some of the places we went in the past: Italy, Arizona. The one in the bottom is Punta Cana. I am sorry I missed some pictures, but that's because Canva didn't like me this morning for some reason. So that's your pay in full bonus. And then if you want, you can also do a payment plan. And in the payment plan, remember, anyone who pays in full gets everything. So they'll get this as well. You'll get a one-on-one coaching call with us, just you and us, to be able to personalize your strategy, accelerate your progress, and then you're going to get another additional LifeMap audit where you can do it whenever you want, right? And it's a great way to get us to laser focus on you alone, your business, right? You can do it anytime when you start so that you're moving in the right direction, or maybe you want to do it midway through the course so that you want to make sure that you're on the right path. So whatever works for you is good with us, right? So let's go one step further and tell you a little bit more about it, and then we're going to move into the homework. So bear with me because Canva is not cooperating again. Okay, so as we said, everything together is probably about $30,000. That's what that's what we charge our corporate clients. So this is the deal for you guys. So you can do 3 payments of $667, and you're going to get everything, including that extra bonus. Or you can pay in full. And if you pay in full, the normal price is $19.97, but you're going to save $500 and you're going to only pay $14.97. So it is amazing. You can ask us any questions you want. Please feel free to book a call. You guys have those links. DM us, text us, chat with us, you name it, and we'd be happy to talk to you further about it. And again, if you want to enroll, feel free. You can do so now. Or you can talk to us first. But I want you, the reason why we're doing this is for you to stay on track, right? We want you to stay on track beyond this 10 days. And your life map is really your foundation, right? Your foundation, and what your success comes from is the daily execution of it, right? So your next steps, regardless of whether you join us or not, we're putting that aside for a minute. Your next step is to commit to using your planner. Right? Commit to using your planner. Then I want you to commit to something accountability wise, whether it's our ultimate life reset or whether it's a friend or whether it's staying plugged into the Mastermind City group. Please, you have to figure out a way to hold yourself accountable. This is your chance to really make it work. I don't want you to leave this 10 days and go, oh, you know what, that was great. I think I can do it on my own, and then never do it again. Okay. Tomorrow we'll talk about, for those of you who just want to join our Mastermind City Plus, we're going to talk to you about a very special deal after Stacy presents you with your vision board. But if you don't join us, you know where to find us. You know how to stay with us on all our free training, on all our lives, and I want you to keep going. But today, I want to make sure that we focus on homework, your favorite part of the journey, right? And your homework, remember what happens when you do your homework? You get prizes. Lisa got her 12-month scholarship to Mastermind City Plus. That could be you, or you might actually win the Ultimate Life Reset for free. So that's like a $30,000 value. I know we're selling it for only $14.97 today, but you, if you've done this right and you've done your homework and you've posted, might get it for free. So homework number 1 is I want you to navigate your life map. Okay. Navigate your life map. I want you to make sure that you do your homework. So start playing with the planner, start deciding what planning sheets you want to use and start filling them out. There isn't any excuses because you did your goals already. If you did your homework, you did your goals. So I want you to block time in the upcoming days to really fill out everything there is. Okay. So you don't have to have it all done tonight, but I want you to start. What did we say a couple of days ago? Act. Action changes things. You must do something. So I want you to spend 10 minutes each morning, at least until you finish with us on day 10, to review your life map and look at your priorities. Okay. And then write down some actions that you can take. Tomorrow, you should write one of your actions as being join Stacy at 12 o'clock for our vision board. Okay. I want you to play with Chachi and see if it can solve some problems for you, right? So you can do this prompt. What's a daily routine to help me achieve this goal without feeling overwhelmed? It's a great one because I know some of you do. I want you to reflect at the end of the day. You can journal, you can write on your daily planner and make those adjustments. But I want you to do something that will make you say, yeah, I'm getting there. And then I want you to share one actionable step from your life map with a group or a buddy for accountability. Put it on the chat, put it in our hub, do it wherever you want, but you need to make sure you focus on something. Okay. There's a couple of little additional exercises if you want. They're Chachi exercises, right? And they are just fun ones for you to do. You will get them in your email and in your book, in your workbook, but I want to make sure that you see them. One is for mapping the unexpected. Remember, we wanted to say, how do I deal with roadblocks? We gave you some strategies, but now ask Chachi. Maybe Chachi can help you with a few more. One of the roadblocks you might be having right now is, this has been fabulous. There's so much information, but I feel overwhelmed. Ask Chachi the question, right? Even though we gave you some, I want you to figure that out. And then there's another one to stay on course. You might need some checkpoints, right? These are moments to pause or reflect or recalibrate, right? To see what you're doing. So, for example, you might get 3 specific milestones for a certain goal. Maybe that's what you need. Maybe you need to understand what success looks like for each and every point. Maybe you need to schedule time for a personal review every month. What are your vision checkpoints? Do you want to use the progress tracker? Do you want to ask Chachi, hey, how am I doing? You'd have to feed it. But you could ask Chachi, you could say, I've spent a month. Ask me some questions to know if I'm on track. And it will start asking you what your goals are, what your milestones were, and it will help you achieve those. Okay. Really, really important. So Today, you really learned about bringing your life map to life, right? Because we worked on the planners, right? This is where the rubber hits the road, right? This is where you turn your plans into your progress. Remember, navigating your life map is an ongoing process. So you need to stay flexible, you need to stay focused. And I want you to really celebrate all your wins along the way, right? Because tomorrow we're going to take everything that we've done and we're going to create it into a vision board, right? Which will be so cool because we can post that up just like everything else and be able to continually look at it. So the next 5 days are your bonus rounds, right? So we're going to do our vision board. We're going to talk about goal hacking on Sunday. On Monday, you don't want to miss this. We're going to go about doing your AI prompts. We're going to learn even more cheats. And then on Wednesday, next week, Tuesday, whatever that day is, Tuesday. Sorry. Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to do Q&As and we're going to do spotlights. So you're going to be able to ask us anything that you're stuck with, anything that you think really you need, that resonates with you and you need an answer. This is what we do on a weekly basis in our Mastermind City Plus group. We answer anything you want. A lot of people come to us and say, hey, I really am stuck with this. Do you know of any technology I can use? Stacy and I love tech. Okay, we support lots and lots of software developers. We buy a lot of tech and we use it. We buy a lot of software and we use it. So anything we can do to help you, we will do. Tomorrow is really, again, about making your vision come to life. So many of you have spoken with Stacy this week, but it's been behind the camera. Tomorrow, she's actually coming out front. She's going into the light, and you're going to be able to work with her to make your life map come to reality into pictures, right? So you're going to develop this big, beautiful, vibrant map of everything we've talked about. That's tomorrow. And then the next 4 days after that, is really going to make this stick. So any of you had any questions about the Ultimate Life Reset, about anything we've done, about how to work with us one-on-one, feel free to reach out to us, book a call, whatever you need to do. And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.